Today's video is going to be 1 part tech jargon, 3 parts photography, 6 parts iPhone, and the rest a rant, because I'm a little ticked off about something. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to Pal to Tech. I have been recently testing out the new iPhone 11 Pro's camera. The drool from all the YouTubers out there is dripping all the way down to China with how amazing that this phone is. And so far, they're right. This phone is an incredible camera. In September of 2017, when Apple released iOS version 11 and Mac OS High Sierra, they introduced their new HEIC file format for photos taken on their devices. Not only that, but HEIC was turned on by default. So users getting Apple devices started shooting in that format, whether they wanted to or not. HEIC is the file format name that Apple has gone with that is part of the HEIF standard, which is High Efficiency Image Format. Think of a JPEG, but a lot more advanced. You get the same image quality, but with a smaller file size than you would with regular JPEGs. At the time it was released, the tech industry, like they always do, were shouting from the mountaintops about how great this new format was and that Apple was leading the way and there would soon be widespread support for HEIC because, you know, if Apple does something, then everyone else is soon to follow. So, I came back from a photo shoot recently, and I had decided to do a majority of the shoot on the iPhone 11 Pro to test it out. I get back to my computer, which is a Mac, by the way, and I open Photo Mechanic to start culling through my photos. I drag my iPhone 11 images into Photo Mechanic, and this is what happens. This is because, by default, iPhone shoots and stores photos in the HEIC format, which apparently Photo Mechanic doesn't support. So I went to a camera bit support forum, that's the makers of Photo Mechanic, and I saw this posting from one of their software engineers over a year ago, and he laments that the HEIF, HEIC are patent encumbered and require licensing fees for developers, etc. Now, Apple has said that iPhone users take more than 1 trillion photographs each year, so clearly adding HEIC support to Photo Mechanic is a problem, or they would have definitely done it by now. Instead, they're just complaining in posts that they publish to Twitter's media service. So far, no support yet. Here's the thing. We're in 2019, over 2 years since this format was set as default on Apple devices, and any photos that I take on this phone won't work, won't show up, won't display, and are not supported in a lot of places. They won't work in Photo Mechanic. They won't work in Image Optim, another program that I use all the time. You know, it's ironic. A lot of photographers love Squarespace, but if they try and drag and drop a photo to Squarespace, to update their photography website, this is the error message that they get. If you try and upload a photo to your WordPress website, this is the error that you get. And you need to install yet another plugin to work around this issue. It gets worse. If you want your iPhone photos to be published on the open World Wide Web, a little platform called the web, this is what they look like on a web page. As of today, not a single web browser will support HEIC, including Apple's own Safari web browser. A lot of users don't notice these problems because Apple does a very good job of masking this out. For example, if you're publishing your photography work to media companies like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook using their own apps, the iPhone will automatically convert it to a JPEG before uploading the image. It's only later on, when you're needing to step outside the walled garden of these media and tech companies, that you realize how little support there is for HEIC. And again, I say we are now 2 years into this format. Luckily, both Lightroom and Photoshop at least support it, so there is hope for photographers. However, Apple does give you the option to shoot directly to JPEG instead of HEIC. Let me show you how to turn that on your iPhone. Simply go into Settings, scroll down until you get to Camera, and in Camera, simply go to Formats and tick off Most Compatible. That's all you have to do, and from now on, when you're shooting photos with your iPhone, they will be saved and done in JPEG format. And frankly, that's all I'm going to be doing from now on. No more HEIC until I see wider support, particularly on the World Wide Web. Now, I realize that this is a catch-22 in that the more people that start using HEIC, the more support, etc., will be offered. I get that. However, this should not be on the backs of photographers and users. Software companies like CameraBits that sell Photo Mechanic for $139 need to start providing support for HEIC files before I'm going to embrace that format. It's as simple as that. It comes down to trust. I don't trust HEIC yet. And until I see some real progress and widespread support on their part, I'm sticking with JPEG for now for all of my photography on the iPhone Pro. What are your struggles with the HEIC format, or do you have any? Is this even an issue for you at all, or is just the ramblings of me, right? Let me know in the comments below. You know what? Love the web together, right? Love the web together. Although it's probably the only t-shirt left in existence that says, you know, Windows Phone on it, right? Actually, I wore this into an Apple store the other day. Anyway, all right, so I'm all done with the rant. The rant is over. Let's do the final last part, you know, which is addressing the elephant in the studio, okay? Which is actually the stormtrooper in the studio. And this is a YouTube first, for sure. Never before in the history of YouTube. In fact, never before in the history of published videos, published media, YouTube, the World Wide Web, HEIC format, anything, ever, nothing, never before has there ever been a full-size scaled stormtrooper costume, right? That I can check my white balance. He's wearing a white balance card. Yes, that's the kind of channel this is. I will see you in a video, maybe not next week. You know, what I'm noticing is I've been putting so much work into these YouTube videos, which, you know, I love doing, but there's been a side effect lately that I'm not happy with, and that is I'm spending less time going through the videos that I'm shooting of my kids and my family. And I need to get back to that. I need to be spending some time doing that. I got Halloween videos, I have trip vacation videos and photos. I haven't been going through them. They're piling up in JPEG and RAW format, but they're piling up on my computer and they're getting lost in the shuffle of my continual work that I'm doing on these YouTube videos. So I'm gonna take some time out. I will see you probably not next week, unless I can get it done in time, but maybe the week after. So in the meantime, have a great weekend. Let me know what you think about the video in the comments below, and I will see you very soon in another video. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.